Sup? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today. With me I have some more RPG horror stories. If I still sound like I'm a little bit under the weather, that's because I'm still kind of a little bit under the weather, but I really want to get back and record some more RPG horror stories for y'all because, well, I kind of like what I do on here and I kind of like our usual thing that we do, so I just want to keep on going with it. Anyway, let's get some RPG horror stories for today. Creepy DM sends my character to prison. This from several months ago when I joined a D&D group that a friend recommended to me. We had a 4-person party with a cleric, a ranger, a sorcerer, and a fighter. My sorcerer was named Pearl and was the only female PC in the group. She also had the noble background. On session 1, the DM mentioned that Pearl was 48 years old, which was strange since I hadn't specified her age. But other than that, everything was pretty normal for the first few sessions, and I must admit, I was enjoying it. Not that my enjoyment lasted. So basically what happened is that the DM railroaded the whole party into doing something that apparently illegal in the in-game city we were in, but none of us, the players, knew that it was illegal. For some reason, Pearl was the only member of the party to be caught and arrested by the city police. An NPC who was helping the party suggested to the ranger that if Pearl goes to prison, he could get a job as a prison guard to keep in contact with her and potentially get her out. Sure enough, Pearl ended up sent to prison, and the ranger got a job as a guard there. That's where I started to see things going downhill, though I didn't realize yet it was a sex thing. At the time, it just seemed like a way to remove player agency. The fact that DM immediately claimed your player character was 48 years old, was it? Yeah, 48 years old. I feel like it's kind of a, weirdly enough, a given, like, yeah, that's my fetish, taking 48-year-olds and put them into prison and doing some sex things with them. A little bit weird of a detail to point out, but I feel like maybe it makes sense. Maybe they're just into older women in prison scenarios or something. I really have no idea. Either way, it kind of seems like a TTRPG game that's thinly veiled disguise for a fetish. Let's continue. For starters, the prison was a modern prison rather than a medieval one, despite the game being supposedly set in the Forgotten Realms. Immediately, Pearl got strip search, and to make matters worse, the DM had a ranger PC conduct the search. The person playing the ranger was clearly uncomfortable throughout the whole experience, as you might expect. The DM went into a lot of detail in his description of the search, with a fetishy emphasis on Pearl's age. Ding ding ding, bingo, they're into older women being put into these uncomfortable situations. Also, you know, I'm just imagining what the DM is thinking of. They just finished gooning to some, like, their stuff. I can't believe I'm using the word gooning unironically, but here we are in the year of 2025, or great 9 hells or whatever, I don't know. Morrow is a worshiper of Timora, so I guess we can say in the year of 2025, in the blessed year of Our Lady Timora. And they decided to take the stuff they were watching that were really into, like, I'm gonna put into this campaign. Everybody's gonna love it so much, and I get to play out my sexual fantasies because I disguise this game as a thinly veiled hentai from my shelf. Also, if you're uncomfortable with something, you could just outright say, hey DM, I am uncomfortable and I don't really want to do this. You are allowed to say, DM, I'm not cool with this. Whatever's going on here definitely makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Definitely makes me feel a little bit, I just not interested in doing that. I don't want to participate in this strip search fetish game of yours. The DM then made me roll a saving throw to determine whether or not Pearl would maintain her composure during the search. And basically the rest of the whole session was just DM's sexual fantasies. Every single one of the other prisoners was a middle-aged human woman, and Pearl ended up sharing a cell with Jennifer Bales. No joke, the DM just inserted Jennifer Bales herself into the campaign. Jennifer Bales, American actress, she made her film debut in My Bodyguard before receiving critical acclaim for her performance as Alexandra Owens in Flashdance, for which she won NAACP Image. Okay, so it is indeed like someone's just fetish just put into a D&D game. Awesome. Incredible. What an amazing idea, DM. Why nobody do that? Please don't do that. This is a horrible thing to do. Don't turn your games, don't turn TTRPG games or regular TTRPG games into your own fetish fantasy. Nobody's interested in that. If you want to find people that are interested in that, make a post about it. Say, hey, I just want to run a cool fetish game where players go to prison and they hang out with Jennifer Bales and stuff. I don't know. Don't masquerade thinly veiled D&D games or TTRPG games as your fetish games. And since Pearl had a noble background and was used to a life of luxury, the DM fetishized the whole fall from grace aspect. Talked about how difficult it was for her to adjust to being a prisoner, given a life she was used to. At the end of the session, Pearl was visited by her husband. I didn't write him into Pearl's backstory, the DM abruptly added him, and the DM made me roll another saving throw to determine whether or not Pearl would maintain her composure whether she'd cry from the embarrassment of her husband seeing her in an orange prison jumpsuit. Needless to say, that was my last session with this DM. I can't believe you stayed for the entire thing with the prison stuff and didn't just leave me away, honestly. I would think you'd be like, yep, okay, never mind, I'm not okay with strip search, I'm just cool with it. This is clearly a fetish game, I'm out of here. Maybe you decide to stick around because you want to see what ended up happening. It's like watching a train wreck, right? You can't look away, even though you know it's horrible and you want to do something about it, but you just can't look away. It's a disaster waiting to happen, so you're just kind of sitting out there waiting for it to finish before you just basically dip on out. I don't know. Anyway, DMs that masquerade their games as regular games when in fact it's some sort of a weird fetish game don't force weird fetishes into TTRPG games, whether you're a player or a DM. Anyway, let's get to the next story for today. The community you spent 9 sessions building, it's gone, sorry. Advice? So I'm in my group Forever DM. Also have been because I'll be frank, I'm not super into the player side of the game. But one of my players wanted to try DMing and I was definitely feeling burnt out, so we swapped. The game starts and we're in a world of 4 kingdoms, brink of war. All the classic good stuff. As the game goes from level 1 to 5, we slowly discover a lot of the kingdoms are kicking people out and a lot of people are nationless. There's a big bad coming, and if these people aren't part of a kingdom, they are at risk. Suddenly, as one of our level 5 quest rewards, we're given a few options, and one of them is an island off the coast of one of these major kingdoms. Suddenly it all clicked to me. I knew what the DM's hope was and I was all for it. I accepted the island with the understanding it was mine and wouldn't be part of this guy's kingdom, but he protects me from the other invaders. Good deal. I collect the deed at my island and find there's an abandoned town in it. A good base of operation. Definitely seems like this was the plan the DM had for us to take over the island and make a nation, and I'm all for it. My notes is full of what buildings I have, populations, NPCs in my city, training guards, super involved, and I'm even making sure to do this during downtime out of game, not whole questing. So I just ping the DM once a week saying, hey, during these 3 weeks, can I do this thing in town? How much would that cost? Just because I know not everyone is invested into playing D&D Sims as me. This carries out in almost 10 sessions, about 4 months of playing. We encountered Lich Big Bad a few times and they've conquered the nation furthest away from us, and we're moving forward. Awesome. I'm making last line of defense, our nation will be the last. Totally think I predicted this and I'm very excited for it. During the last session of my town, we're off on a quest seeking a dragon out for information, while suddenly I get a message sent to me via a ring. I have a ring lets an NPC message me from the town who I let run the day-to-day business. They say someone in the town is acting really weird. I'll tell the others and ask them to come back with me. The dragon can wait. Our home is in danger. We all returned to the town and a man had been captured. He has black inky eyes under some sort of trance and saying how much town is doomed. The vines below are poisoned. The earth will turn against us. Our druid does a nature roll and figures out this guy has buried something really bad in our town. They'll basically sink it into the earth. Crap, I panic. I get people to go out and dig around town. But the druid has a much better idea to get to the ranger to basically retrace these guys' steps. We follow a path and find a few ogres defending the dig site. After an intense battle, we dig out the ground and find a dark seed. The druid's able to find out the seed drags things into the earth, and this was probably made by the Lich. It would have destroyed the town. So far, so good. It seems like we just have like a regular D&D session game going on. I don't understand what the problem is. Are we going to get to a point where suddenly things go bad, or what? That was intense. Glad we saved the town. Guess we need to be more on guard if we are messing with the Lich's plans. Suddenly pop! Lich appears just outside of town. Oh, you found a seed. Digging it up, let me teleport here and activate its effects. The Lich clicks his fingers and describes how my whole town is sucked into the earth and totally destroyed. Everyone inside dies. Oh, that's what you mean. Basically, the DM is pulling a gotcha. Haha, gotcha! You did exactly as I planned. So now because you did that, I have the BBEG come in and do something epic. I predicted you would take the dark seed, and because you took the dark seed out or removed it, now gives me the power to suck the entire earth down and destroy everything you planned. That's kind of a crap thing to do. Whenever you have this sort of situation happen and trying to pull a gotcha on your players, this is not the great way to do things. There's some moments where maybe like subverting expectations might might be cool, but this is just straight up a gotcha. You're waiting for the players to do the thing, so you can come in and be like, fools, my lich was coming in to do this thing all along and still gets to do the thing that we're planning to do anyway. You fell right for the plan. How are they supposed to know that was a plan in the first place? Were they able to roll inside checks? Were they able to roll any countering information? Just anything? Seems like they were just kind of following along with the DM's plan. What are they supposed to do? Not follow along with the DM's plan? Can I roll to see if I can get there in time to save anyone at all? Could the druid morph the earth to make a safe spot? Nope. Lich is too strong and can counter spell. Everyone's gone, town dead. I'll admit I then make a bad choice. I shouldn't have gotten upset or attached, but I say that there's no way my character wouldn't try to save people and will die with the town. The DM stops the game and tells me I'm metagaming and I can go and get revenge. I wasn't really interested in that. I felt all my downtime effort and all my character goals were deleted with nothing I couldn't do to stop it. And I would rather run a brand new character than try to salvage this one. The DM tells me I'm ruining the story by committing self-deletion when I don't need to, and he has a story plan and to stick with it. We end the game and we step away and we have yet to return. I'm not sure what to do. On the other hand, I get taken stuff to make me hate the bad guy, but I already did. I was running a generic hero who wanted to take down the Lich to save the town. I already had motivation. Another player suspects the DM got a little tired of my downtime activities, but I hope that's not that. What would you do? Would you keep your character alive or make a fresh one? I'm not even sure if I want to continue playing this campaign at this point. I feel as if all my efforts have been for nothing when I assumed I was engaging exactly as the DM wanted. I don't think you need to make a new character or continue playing the current one. I think you just need to have a sit down with the DM and figure out what the hell the whole plan was about. Why did they allow you just to have all this downtime to do the prep work and to build all this stuff simply just to crush it from you? What is the point for it? What is the point to have that build up? If you're gonna allow the player to have that build up, you know how deflating it is to just take it away at a moment's notice? Just whoop. It's gone now. All the time you spend invested into this thing and prepping and stuff and taking notes and being really into it, whoop, whoosh, gone just like that. I'd feel bitter because I feel like the things I've been working on for a while crumbled apart regardless of what I did, whether I put in any work or not, because it's kind of BS to just have this entire thing just disappear on you. The whole town you worked on, housing refugees and stuff, getting the entire island, prepping for it, making sure everything is good, to just suddenly disappear because of DM's gotcha, I gotcha, the thing you worked so hard to do for all this time, just whoosh, destroyed in a blink. Imagine putting that effort into it. Imagine putting so much effort to be invested into this whole thing. You know, there's nothing more discouraging than having just something that a player is invested in or interested in just be completely just blown away. You know, it happened to me as well. It happened to me and Micah as well. Basically, a little bit of context. I'm not going to go into the whole preamble for it, but basically we received a ancient Eladrin gem that we found in some deep ruins that apparently had some very unique magical power and was tied to this grand island's history and stuff about ancient Eladrin ruins. And Micah and I decided we want to look into it and investigate it. And at the same time, we also learned that this gem is connected to some sort of a Warforged core. I talked about this in my RPG horror story, but basically, we found this great MacGuffin that was connected to this other great MacGuffin that was supposed to be pretty important. So when this whole quest did all kinds of combat, fought through all kinds of political drama and intercontinental drama, simply just to find out the damn thing is just a stupid paperweight. And basically, outside of holding incredible magical power, it's basically useless and we couldn't do anything with it. The only thing we were told is, please don't sell it to somebody, please keep it, and that's it. We didn't get to find out what it does, we didn't get to use it in any way, we didn't know what to do with the capacity. Basically it was useless, and we just asked, please don't sell it, but otherwise I don't really care if you sell it. So we had a glorified magical paperweight that couldn't do jack. And you know what, after investing months investigating about this stuff, rescheduling, through all the scheduling issues, trying to get this all worked out, after investing months into this, it felt extremely demoralizing and deflating to just have it become what it is. Just a paperweight. If you have a player that is invested into something and you want to encourage that investment, the one thing you don't want to do is break that investment and make it feel useless and pointless. Because guess what? You're gonna be like this player here, absolutely demoralized. Everything you worked for meant nothing at all and it was absolutely pointless. Great! Then I don't care for your game DM, because I'm not interested. If your games are just gonna have pointless adventures and pointless things to do, then why should I as a player get invested? Nah, dude, this DM just sucks. This DM sucks, and you really should have a word with them and explain to them that this is not a great way to do it if the thing I'm invested in is just going to be just whisked away from me completely or become useless entirely, then what's the point of me being invested in this game in the first place? If this game continues, honestly, I think you should quit and maybe go back to DMing and stuff, because I'd be frustrated as a DM myself. I'd be frustrated. I'd be like, you know what? I could pull off a better thing. As a DM and a player, I genuinely hate what this DM has done. It's a gotcha in the worst way possible. It's literally the worst thing ever. I hate this kind of gotchas. Hey, this thing you invested in, spent so much time investing into, it's basically useless now. Womp womp. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.